be giving you a brief history about the hospital. The hospital first, Great Ormond Street was the first children's hospital which had opened its doors in 1852. The hospital was opened by Dr. Charles West. Princess Diana was the patron of the hospital, and this is where her two younger sons, Harry and William, were very young and they had gone to the hospital. Dr. Charles West was the driving force behind its opening when it first opened. This is the charity logo for the hospital. Great Ormond Street. In the year of 1852, Great Ormond Street Hospital opened with just only 10 beds, and this was where the very first children's hospital in the United Kingdom, which is very dedicated to inpatient healthcare to young children. Here you can also learn about the hospital's fascinating and 160 years of history, from different worldwide facts and surgery and history, and the very state of the art building to their pioneering research and treatment for patients at the hospital, and the amount of celebrity support it's been given, and also see some of the hospital's importance and how the hospital supports its young patients who they look after, and support the parents and patients with conditions that they are suffering from. The people who see the hospital, the staff at the hospital show a lot of dedication of who they look after and how to look after their patients. Legal and ethical issues I would face. Legal and ethical issues I would face is how I would be looking at different things, and also the clauses that would be used. The clauses that would come into it would be Clause 6, children. This would apply because young people should be free to complete complete their time at school without unnecessary intrusion with conditions that they're suffering from. And a child under 16 must not be interviewed or photographed at school or issues involving their own or another child's welfare, unless a custodial parent or similarly responsible adult consents with the information I will be providing. To add to the clause, editors must not use the fame, notoriety or position of a parent or guardian as sole justification with publishing details of the child's private life. The other clause that would be into this would be Clause 8 as well. Journalists must always try and identify themselves and obtain permission from a responsible adult and about individuals or similar institutions. Clause 14 would also apply to this because journalists have a moral obligation to protect confidential sources of information. The explanation for this clause would be the reason that journalists have the moral obligation to protect confidential sources is because they are protecting the legal and moral aspects of a person's private life, which they do not want to be leaked to the press if they are a celebrity and they are always in the media. The public interest comes into this as well. There may be expectations to the clauses marked, where they can be demonstrated to the public interest. First point for this is public interest includes, but it is not confirmed to, protecting or exposing crimes or serious inappropriately, protecting public health and safety. The reason public health and safety comes into this is because you need to protect the patient's well-being and the staff who are working with the hospital. There is public interest of freedom of expression to yourself as a patient at the hospital. Great Ormond Street Hospital. This is what the hospital building actually looks like from the outside. As you walk into the building, you would see quite a lot of different things about the hospital. Great Ormond Street Hospital is not only just a hospital, it is a charity as well. And as I was a former patient of the hospital, sorry about this, I can't even talk. I've always wanted to raise money for the hospital, because since I was younger in secondary school, I would always advise people to raise money for them, as they have looked after numerous patients, and the way they support different children with different conditions. Okay. history of publishing that I'll be using is a digital blog where I'll be talking about history of the hospital and how the hospital was formed. The other part that I will be trying to incorporate will be about my time in hospital, and the hospital had looked after me while I was a patient there. Grosvenor Street has a wide range of patients who have life-threatening conditions. The staff at the hospital always will be dedicated to looking after their patients. This whole Grosvenor Hospital, where young children have life-threatening conditions, always support them no matter what the condition is. The thing that that Grosvenor Street Hospital does is a lot of great and inspiring things for its patients and staff. That is why I support their patients who they're looking after. The reason behind my idea is to create a journalism blog on Grosvenor Street is because since I was a very little girl at secondary school, I've always been very inspired by Grosvenor Street Hospital and how they look after their patients.
It's the nation's most cherished and respected children's hospital.
I think for children, I think you can't go better than elderly.
I just think they do some really great work.
But we reveal that all is not well at this famous institution.
I have thought it the most wonderful place in the world, and now I do not.
Tonight we uncover how Great Ormond Street's management created a culture of bullying and victimisation.
We were almost told off like you tell off children, saying that don't be so dramatic, don't be so histrionic.
Tried to bury a report that revealed a clinically risky situation.
It was an accident waiting to happen in that clinic.
And in the case of baby Peter, shifted the blame.
Health had a very large responsibility, and I think health got off relatively scot-free.
Now politicians are calling on the hospital to put its house in order.
Great Ormond Street have a responsibility to put things right. Then I hope they do it fast, and I hope they do it openly.
We ask why this has been allowed to happen. Is Great Ormond Street simply too important to fail? Great Ormond Street is one of the most famous children's hospitals in the world. Its work captures the hearts and minds of the British public.
We're running for Great Ormond Street.
As we've just seen in this video, it just explains what the hospital does. And in the case of baby Peter Connolly, it shows the way they've done things in the right way and the wrong way, because even though baby Peter Connolly was objectified by his parents, they've also seen the legal aspects of it, and that's why they've said they've got good things about them and they've got bad points. And this shows how important it is to make children feel safe. And it is just, because looking back, when I first heard that baby Peter Connolly case, I thought, that doesn't sound like a hospital that would do that. And now I look back and I think, what is going on? The reason I have... Yeah, I've done that bit. Okay. Can you go to this one?
My name is George and I'm 7 years old. I go to Manifold Junior School. I like drawing but I don't like maths. My favourite game is Uno. And my best toy is my monster truck. Great Ormond Street is the best hospital in the whole wide world. I was in here for 9 months because I had cancer. We had to go down to have a scan and then they probably knew it was a tumour. I had 2 operations, one on my tummy and one there. Where they took both of them out. But that one was right next to my heart. My parents stayed with me. Well,
The reason I decided to use this video was because it inspired me from a young 7-year-old's perspective, it shows how much the hospital supports its patients, and it's also made me realise the amount of dedication they have. It just explains it, and looking at this, watching this video shows you what you can learn from it. And this bit is just a literal small bit about me. Great Ormond Street changes many lives, and they also have changed mine. When I was a little baby and I was born at Whipps Cross University Hospital, weighing £1, 1.5 ounces. After my birth, I was at the London University Children's Hospital, London, before I was transferred to Great Ormond Street Children's Hospital, so that they could save my life. The hospital makes people feel safe when they need help with the condition that they're suffering from. And now, when I was at the hospital, it was like, well, as I was born, some really weird things happened. When I was really small, my eyes never opened, and since then, I have come through the other side. And no matter what has happened, this hospital has always supported me, and it shows that they've done they have so much dedication. Okay. The structure that I've just had to consider to use my blog was the creative theme, because I've always believed that using Great Ormond Street is not only a hospital, it's also a charity. The pieces of journalism that I will use as a blog to publicise my idea about Great Ormond Street would be my own experience of being a patient there. I will also try and combine the two ideas together with the two articles. Will also be one about the history, the second one about my experience of being a patient. The target audience of my journalism will be for parents and children who have been at the hospital and who have illnesses. This will also reassure them how the hospital supports patients. Thank you for listening. Any questions?
So, what's your purpose of this article exactly?
The purpose is to explain how much important and life-saving treatment the hospital does for its patients, and the care they have for their staff.
So, is it to inform the audience, or what is your general purpose?
It's to inform the audience and to persuade them to raise money for the hospital, as they need quite a lot of donations at the moment. Tim.
Are you also sharing your personal experiences in this article?
Yes, I will be. It's going to be a separate article though.
Okay, understand.
I really like your thin pitch, but I think as advice for you, think about the media side to it more than your experience. I know your experience is part of you, but don't make it too personal to you, because that can cause a bit the reason to the unit.
Yeah, I thought it was really well researched, Tamara. Lots of content in there which we didn't have time to look at completely, but I will do later on.
Okay.
I don't so much have an issue with it being personal, because a lot of journalism is based on personal experience. I'm concerned that you're trying to include too much. There's a lot to include there, so I just think that we'll narrow that down. Okay. And the other thing I thought as well, the second video was fantastic, wasn't it? The first one seemed to be criticising it, so we're going to have to be very selective about those sorts of sources too, because you want to be very positive about the hospital, don't you?
Yeah.
You don't want to be criticising it. So as a journalist...
Should be something.
Yeah, it did, but then it said that they'd made some mistakes in management. As a journalist, you don't have to show everything to the audience. You create an angle and then find a way in. Yeah.
Okay.
But I thought there was some lovely stuff there, absolutely packed full of research. Sorry.
Have we got any more questions?